This year has been the 10th anniversary of Madoka Magica, which originally aired back in 2011. To celebrate that, we've seen a number of new pre-order listings and releases like the Blu-ray Trilogy box set, which has this very premium quality to it. It's got this canvas, slipped box. On the side there, you can see 10th anniversary Blu-ray box set, and on the back, you have letters that are all, like the witch style kind of thing we got going on for the series. And the letters spell out Madoka Magica, which is awesome. But aside from this, we also got the omnibus for the Madoka manga, which I think this was outside of the 10th anniversary releases and might have actually came out last year as well, but still an awesome release. There are some panels in here with Kyubei's eyes just looking quite bizarre, and I almost wish they, I think there were some scenes in the anime where they kind of replicated that, but not to the degree that, how unsettling it looks in the manga, which is, there were some 10th anniversary figures of, Madoka and even Kyubei, which Kyubei is a tiny figure. He's flocked, so he's got that, fuzzy feel to it, but he's a tiny figure, and the price is a bit insane for that, I think. But anyway, one of my favorite things that we have gotten from this was a proplica, the Soul Gem and Grief Seed, Madoka's Soul Gem and Grief Seed, which if you don't know what a proplica is, there's been a number of releases of proplicas for Sailor Moon, like the Chalice, compacts of, all kinds here, different wands, and these are awesome replicas. They really made these, pretty well. Uranus and Neptune's, which the bases actually you connect to, which is awesome. We've got the Scepter, and my personal favorites, these kaleidoscopes, both the original and the one from the new Eternal movie, I believe it's called. And yeah, these things are, I don't know how to turn them on or anything, but I do know that, yeah, these things are super cool. But yeah, it lights up like a lightsaber and stuff like that. It's awesome. But all of these, they light up, they have music and stuff, sound effects and voice lines from, the series and all that stuff. And you turn that off. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see the Soul Gem and Grief Seed, the kind of sound effects, voice lines, and music that they have in that proplica as well. But speaking of Madoka and the music I'm looking forward to hearing on the proplica, we also got a repress of the 2017 Madoka vinyl soundtrack. This is the Ultimate Best is what they called it, published by Aniplex, and we got this repress back in April this year. So if you missed out on this, don't worry, because not only will we be taking a look at this vinyl record in this video, we'll also be looking at another record, a hidden gem, if I may. This hidden gem also has 2 tracks from Madoka Magica, which is also in this soundtrack as well. Both Connect, the anime opening, and Colorful, the opening for Rebellion, the 3rd movie, which are performed by none other than the AniSong Duo, ClariS. Welcome to Music and Anime. My name is Ab, and first, as always, the song of the day, which comes to us from Aaron Blanco, who says, "Just found your channel, great stuff. The vinyl news and unboxings are sick. Since I haven't been around all that long, I'm not sure if you've done this one already, but it would be sick if you could take a look at Before My Body Is Dry from Kill la Kill. Thanks." Thank you, Aaron, because I always appreciate a track with the Sawano drop. That song, it's by Hiroyuki Sawano. He did the soundtrack for Kill la Kill. I actually haven't seen that series in quite some time, but I've been eyeballing that Blu-ray box set. Super expensive here in the States, but I'll rewatch the series whenever I get my hands on that box set. In the meantime, I'll definitely be playing that song at my next orgy. I'll either blast it through some speakers or hire an accordionist, because this guy, he's got a channel called Vackarash or Vackarash, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but he plays this song on the accordion and it's actually pretty epic. I'll link that guy's channel down in the description below. He's got a lot of awesome stuff on there. So thank you, Aaron, for sharing that with us. And if you wanted to share your favorite anime opening, ending, or music in a series, just comment down below with Song of the Day and you could see it in a future video. So the Madoka Ultimate Best soundtrack, I'm going to put these away before I accidentally drop one of these and instantly ruin my relationship. Yeah, this album includes music from the TV series, the movie, and probably one of the most psychedelic pachinko machines I have ever seen. The music in this album is composed by Yuki Kajiura and has performances by ClariS and Kalafina, which they are in a lot of my favorite tracks in this album. So yeah, but before I talk about the music, let's take a look at the record itself. On the sleeve itself, before we even talk about the art on the jacket, which is beautiful, we have a quarter piece hype sticker. It's got all the information on there. It's 2 discs, Ultimate Best, limited edition, Aniplex. It's nice and silver. And yeah, now looking at the art on this jacket, I love that the text for the name of the album is very minimal on the side there. And then we have just Madoka with her hair stretching across the entirety of the jacket, along with the red string and her wings. Quite an art piece, and I will say if you look closely, I'll try and get this on camera. The lines here, they're not like as refined. It looks maybe a touch blurry, but I don't mind that at all. It doesn't need to be super crisp and everything. If you just look at this, it's a gorgeous jacket. And when we open this up, on the inside of the jacket, we have probably my favorite thing about this. We have all kinds of images from throughout the series, all different types of characters. We have Mami, Akemi, Kyoko with the Pocky stick, Sayaka with the two Fs that she has like on her clip. Musically, that stands for fortissimo, or very loud. All the different shapes for the frames they use on these images, as well as the background color and all that stuff, really gives you that same vibes that they have with the witches in the series. I mean, this series have like changed the way I think of witches. You know, whenever I hear witches, I think Madoka before I think of like any other type of, you know, your typical witch type thing. But just before we get to the discs, the liner notes here, we have disc 1 and disc 2 with all the track lists there. And because this is a Japanese release, all the lyrics for all the songs are all in Japanese, both with the Japanese text and the romaji for it as well. We can put this to the side for now. And the discs. Now these inner sleeves, I've actually changed the sleeves. It just came with like the different plastic inner sleeves. I swapped it out with these ones because it has like the rice paper on the inside, which makes it a bit more sturdy. Yeah, I'll link these inner sleeves in the description below. I highly recommend these for records that don't have picture sleeves. But going on to disc 1, the discs themselves are black, but on disc 1 we have a pink label to represent Madoka, and on disc 2 we have a purple label to represent Akemi. It's a very subtle thing, but when you put them side by side, you get a real sense of the two characters' color schemes there. That's it for the jacket and the discs there. As for the songs in the album, Connect, the anime opening. I've always thought that the bridge sounded like one of the tracks in Ace Attorney. If you've ever played like any of the Phoenix Wright games, I'll maybe put the track side by side and you get a sense of like why I immediately thought Phoenix Wright. But aside from ClariS, the music in this album is composed by Yuki Kajiura, and the performances with Kalafina, the tracks with Kalafina, that music group, those are the ones that really give me that like Madoka vibe. You know, when I think of Madoka, like the music of Madoka, the Kalafina tracks are the ones that like I really think about, you know, like Sis Puella Magica, which is also Cubase theme, if I'm not mistaken. Hikarifuru, which translates to Light Falls, I believe, is definitely my favorite track in this album. You truly have no soul if you listen to that song and it doesn't strike a chord with you or anything, you know what I mean? It's incredible and easily my favorite in the album. So do yourself a favor, find this album either online or something, put some headphones on and shut the world out for a second, because it'll just cleanse your soul. But while listening to the track, it reminded me of something else. I was like, there's a song I've heard before that sounds very similar to this, and I'm so happy I like figured out what song it reminded me of, because it gives me an excuse to talk to you guys about this band real quick. And I know this is a Madoka video and everything, but X Japan. If you don't know this band, this is their album for the documentary that they have called We Are X, and it has tracks from a couple of different, you know, albums that they have. But Forever Love, listen to that song. I'll link in the description below, but Forever Love by X Japan. I'm like, yes, this is like that song. And listen to the two back to back or something like that, and you know, tell me it doesn't give you like very similar tones in the song there. Also let me know if you've heard of X Japan. Curious to know, because I'm the only one I know who knows this band. But anyway, you're here for Madoka stuff, so aside from the Kalafina stuff that sound otherworldly and fairy tale like with you know, gives you the sense that you're in the presence of something magical and, you know, beyond yourself or something, there's a lot of idol type of songs in here as well, with solos and duets by the voice actors of the magical girls in the series. And I just want to thank someone in the Madoka subreddit for having put all this information together, because I was going to do it myself, but then saw that it had been done and I was like, cool, this is great. So I'll link that in the description below if you want to go through that list and everything yourself. Yes, on the track Naturally, the voice actors for Madoka and Sayaka are the singers on that track, And all I gotta say for this track, the beginning for the pre-chorus of that song, I love it. On the track Akagora Saitha is a Madoka solo. So the voice actor for Madoka is the voice on that track, which this one, it's very cutesy and adorable, which is very fitting for Madoka because she's very cutesy and adorable. Kind of the opposite to Akemi or, you know, Hamura, because Mebius Ash. Goddamn does this have main character energy. It's just like, this song slaps, and tell me you don't like disco afterwards. The bass line, the electronic sparkle texture that's here and there, those staccato strings, and an electric guitar solo. Like, this track has everything that's just like hitting, you know, and the way the song ends on those off-time hits, the track is a powerhouse. Yume Oto is a duet with the voice actors for Madoka and Hamura, so you don't know what true friendship sounds like until you've heard this song. And Stairs is a duet with the voice actors for Mami and Kyoko. This is my favorite pairing because out of the 5, they're my 2 favorite. Mami made one hell of a first impression, and I know that whole thing that happened when, you know, she does something later on in this series that I know it's without spoiling anything, she was at a point of mental crisis. You know, it's like you can blame her and you can't kind of thing, but anyway, Kyoko is easily the one that I want to chill with because video games and apples, I mean, come on. I make a mean apple crisp that I know she'd appreciate because not an apple goes to waste. I use green apples though, and a freshly squeezed lemon. I mean, come on. But those are the solo and duet tracks on the album with the voice actors in it. The last track on the album is Colorful by ClariS. That's the opening to the 3rd movie there, which is a perfect segue onto the ClariS album because this also has the 2 ClariS tracks that are in the Madoka soundtrack are in this ClariS record as well. Though the Madoka one is no longer available, this one is actually still available on Tokyo Otaku Mode's store. I'm always looking for vinyl records, and one day I had a thought of like, wait, like I never tried looking for vinyl records on Tokyo Otaku Mode. So I did, and I discovered this. I had no idea what these look like either because they didn't have any pictures of it. They had pictures of everything, the jacket, all that stuff, except the records themselves. The only way I found out about the colors of these records was on the description that they had, which is interesting because these records look fantastic. I don't know why they didn't want to show that off on their website. So Tokyo Otaku Mode, if you're listening, put images of these records on your site. They're beautiful. So let's take a look at this record right now. On the cover there, we have ClariS with a bunch of flowers and everything. Very, very cute. On the back side, we have all those petals on there with all of the track lists here. Now, all of these tracks are all the openings and endings that they've done for various different types of anime. You got tracks from Nisekoi, Click and Step, Border from Tsuki Monogatari. Another track that they have on a vinyl record is on the Uta Monogatari vinyl box set. It's a whole thing. They have a track in there from one of the Monogatari series in that box set. It's the song Shiori from Owari Monogatari Part 2. So there you go. Tracks 12 and 13 drop in Kimi no Yume. That's 2 original tracks which are produced by KZ, which is a composer and music producer who also worked on a lot of the tracks for Hatsune Miku and, you know, Vocaloids and stuff as well. So if you're super into Vocaloids, you'd definitely be into ClariS. And if you're not so into Vocaloids, like if you're not too crazy about that electronic or, you know, like that digital vocal sound, I will say if you like the music to that, but not so Vocaloid-like sounding voices, ClariS is like the perfect blend of the 2. I personally don't go out of my way to listen to some Vocaloid stuff, but when I do, it's, you know, Project Mirai DX on the 3DS or something, you know. I love the Hatsune Miku rhythm games. They're freaking amazing. Difficult too, like they can get crazy. But let's get back to the record because I know you definitely want to see this. So on the inside, we have not the same duplicated art because this one on the right here is actually a lyric booklet, which is, we'll take a look at that in a second. But if we take that out, we have beautiful art in here. Now, I love this art style. It's gorgeous. Now, these 2 characters, or at least the original 2 characters, were to symbolize the singers, Clara and Alice, which if you put together make ClariS, and that's where the name comes from. But yeah, the pink silhouette character, or the character with the pink accents on it, is Clara's character, and their symbol is the moon, which you can actually see on there or on different types of accessories that she has. Alice's character had blue accented accessories, and her symbol was the sun. So you had the moon for Clara, the sun for Alice, and who you see here in this album is the character for Karen, which is the new singer paired with Clara, because Alice wanted to, go back to school, choose a different career path, which is totally fine. But for the majority of, ClariS, for almost a decade, I believe, it was Clara and Alice, but now it's Clara and Karen. Karen's character's accented with mint green, and their symbol is the star. Everything's accented with the moon and star here, and again, very beautiful characters. But the colors for these characters don't end there, because disc 1, and again I changed the inner sleeves here, but it is a combination of the two. Disc 1, the disc itself is a pastel pink, and again this symbolizes Clara. And yeah, you see the label there is a mint green here. And disc 2 this is the one that made me like, I absolutely need this, because it's a mint green marble. I mean, tell me that doesn't look gorgeous. It's a beautiful color, and again the label there is pink to symbolize both the disc itself is Karen and the label Clara. Both of these are beautiful records. They're gorgeous. Again, that mint green marble is. But the lyric booklet, it actually has all the songs translated. It has flowers and everything accented throughout the entire thing. But you have songs fully translated. They have both the Japanese text and English translation. So what's awesome about the art on here, if you have, and you should have, an outer sleeve for your records for, further protection, all that stuff, you can actually leave the, jacket as is, or you can actually slide this into the jacket to work as a new cover for your record. So when you slide it out of your shelf or anything, you can either present yourself with this gorgeous art, or flip it around to be presented with the other art as well, whichever one you prefer. Me, I prefer the first side here. I just love, the darker colors and all that stuff. But yes, absolutely gorgeous. The lyric booklet was another thing that I didn't even see on the Tokyo Otaku Mode website as well. So between, not showing the records on their website and also, the lyric booklet as well, I was quite surprised when this came in, which took forever. By the way, if you get this, it's worth paying extra for shipping, because the default shipping that it gives you, it's between 4 to 16 weeks. I waited like 3 months to get mine in, and I emailed Tokyo Otaku Mode because I seen a lot of the reviews say that their records came in warped. The packaging was terrible. I emailed them, and I'm sorry, I'm ranting right now, but I emailed them with concern on the packaging and all that stuff because of what everyone was saying about it. And they got back to me saying like, yeah, don't worry about it. We hear you, all that stuff. We ship our products the way they should be and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's been some time since those, reviews were out, and maybe between then and now, they fixed some stuff up. And this is like your typical mailer for a record. When you get it in, this is what you expect it to come in, something like this. This came in a pretty large box. I mean, this box is huge and like thick. And the second I saw this, I was like, oh God, no. I picked it up. It was loose in there, and I got lucky to a degree. There weren't any creases on it or anything major that screamed like it could have easily got bent and everything, though, easily. What did end up happening is that they were a little bit warped. You can really see the thing moving, but not warped enough that it affected how it played. The most important thing. It's good practice for companies to package their records correctly so that they don't get warped or damaged during distribution. Yeah, what helps with a warped record as well, if you have one that's, kind of moving, or you're a little concerned about that, get a record weight or a record clamp, really keep that record down. That helps with other things as well, like sound properties, the platter mat you have and everything. Quite a bit of a tangent there, and not at all how I wanted to end the video, but do you have any of these soundtracks in your collection, whether it be vinyl, CD, or you just stream them? What are some of your favorite tracks, and would you become a magical girl if Cube back there offered you a chance to become one? Don't forget to comment down below a song of the day, and keep on listening to the music that make these animes so great. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.